Hey everyone, it's Alexa. It's a new day. I am so excited. The weather is phenomenal. It's like low 70s, sun is out. The last few days it's been really rainy, and so while we did a lot of progress, I showed the video of just some of the things that we've gotten to do the last few days. It is so nice to have it be sunny out, and the birds are just going. The fish are they are so much more active. I hear the frogs a lot, so it's just life is coming. I've had bugs on me, so I'm like, okay, life is lifing, like spring is near, and it's so exciting. So my kids and I just got back from our co-op we do on Thursdays, and I was like, I have to get outside, and baby's down, I have some time. I was like, I have to plan out where I'm gonna plant the other seeds that I just got in. So I'll actually show. I got some flower seeds in. Let me put this on my little botanical interest box. Okay, I don't know how the lighting is and stuff. I mean, whatever, you can see me mostly. Okay, let me show what I have. It's exciting. All right, so first I have the Hummingbird Haven mix. Let me make sure you can see this. Okay, you can see it. There we go. So Hummingbird Haven mix, I have 2 packets of these. And what I loved about Botanical Interests, I've never grown any of their seeds. This is my first time doing it, but I already appreciate just how much you can get. And I have, we have 10 acres, lots of space to grow lots of flowers, and they just have such a great variety, but there's a lot. I did do their big packets. This was like their kind of regular packet size. This is their big one. And so that first one is a Hummingbird Haven mix. So I've mentioned before, and I'll probably say it a lot, because we have a lot of birds. And one of the things that I don't want to do is create more. I don't want to add more food here, or things that they would want to eat, mostly because we have so many insects. There's plenty of food on this property for birds, and while I am not an expert in this by any means, I do understand that we have the circle of life, thank you, Lion King, but just the way that ecosystems need the way that ecosystems work, right? And so I don't really want to add much that would attract birds to eat what I'm growing, because some things they will, like sunflowers, right? They're gonna want them, and I'm gonna grow them, and so that's gonna attract. But in general, I really want the main focus to be all of the other bugs and things that naturally are here, and I need the birds to eat to help keep a balance and whatnot. So I'm really trying, I'm doing this hummingbird mix, but that's pretty much it. And hummingbirds to me felt different than all the other birds. We don't have a ton of hummingbirds, but I have seen them every once in a while. So that's where this came in, and I actually want to put it right underneath our bay window. I'll show that later. So then I can see them when I'm in the room. But so anyway, so one of the things I'm doing, that's the only one where it's gonna be, where I'm trying to attract. Everything else they might be attracted to, the other flowers and things like that, and that's not bad. It's just, again, I'm trying to be mindful of how much, I really don't want to disturb the natural ways that the birds are feeding off of the things we already have here. So okay, we have a 3-season bloom, and again, I've never grown any of them. So these ones, the most they grow is 4 to 20 inches tall, and then this right here, when I did the math, it says about 20 seeds per square foot. So I have several places where, that we can do many more. 20 seeds per square foot, and how many seeds? I forget how many are in here. Oh, I forget how many are in here, but it's a lot. It's 6,000? I think, something like that. There's a lot. So in these it says right here. So if you sow them at a rate of 20 seeds per square foot, this mix covers 307 square feet. And then I love the way that this, it shares so much good information on the back. So you can see that, right? So I have plenty of areas where I can scatter these and have that much. So I liked this 3-season bloom. I wanted to put it in the front of my house. A lot of our garden and the cut flower gardens I'm doing, those are in the back of my house. Most of the property is either to the east or north of our house, in front of our house and whatnot. So I want to plant some flowers so that when we're out in the front and other things, we can see them as well. So I have my 3-season bloom, and then I have one that is Southern Hills and Plains, and I was really curious. It has a bit more of the wildflower feel to it. Let me show. on here. So that is, I just want to make sure it zooms in. That's another thing I was excited about. This one has enough seeds to cover about 150 square feet. And it says days to emerge, 7 to 21 days. I was like, are you telling me in a month I could have, you know, a lot of flowers? I'm very just like, yes, let me do it. This one's also 7 to 21 days. So this one right here is called your Water-Wise Garden, and I figured this would be an awesome way to also learn what I love about, let me get up, because I crouching down, I was hurting. I'm not as young as I used to be. This has a list of, in every packet I have, it has a list of all the flowers in the mix. And I love that because it also lists out, it shows you how many square feet it can cover, the mix can cover. It shows you, you know, the depth to scatter them. But it also lists all of the different types that are in here. So whether it's calendula, cosmos, gaillardia, I don't know, African daisy, orange poppy, dwarf yellow poppy, white evening primrose, mountain phlox, like all of the different ones. And it shows whether or not they're an annual, a perennial. This mix is predominantly, this Water-Wise Garden is predominantly all annuals. There are some perennials in here, but it's pretty much all annual. So I just love that. It's great for people who are learning, like myself. So that I really love. Let me see. This is the one, I've mentioned it in previous videos, this grandmother's cut flower garden. I am going to be taking one of these packets cover 78 square feet, and my beds in the back are 4 by 20, so they're 80 square feet. So one of these packets is what I'm going to use in the back, and then I am going to use, I bought 4 total. Did I get excited? Yes. And then I'm trying to find out where I'm gonna just scatter these to do the rest, so that people, when they come. One thing I wanna do is for my male person, it's typically a lady, my male lady, she, like just where a mailbox is, I thought this would be a really great place to plant some flowers. So then when she comes, she can have beautiful flowers. I wanted to do something to be kind and neighborly. So I'm gonna do that. This cut flower garden, they range from 18 inches to 48 inches. And most of my cut flowers, let me get back up because leaning like that was hard. 48 inches is about as tall as most of my cut flowers are. I have a couple that will grow to be 5 feet, and then I do have some sunflowers that can grow even taller. But you can actually see behind me, so this is my house. Maybe I'll just walk over there. So where my house is up there, you can see the bay window right there. You can also see that my van door is open. I need to close that. But anyway, that bay window and just the area in front of it, that's what I've been trying to clear out. It's a bear to try to clear out. And so I have been like really lazy with it because it just involves a lot of digging. And for my friends who have had children and know what it's like to be postpartum, you can understand when I say that my pelvic floor is not quite ready for the amount of digging that needs to be done, even though my baby turns 1 in less than 2 weeks. But, you know, 4th time around, not recovering quite the same. Anyway, oh, I think I forgot one. Made in the Shade. This one I'm also testing out. We get a lot of full sun, a lot of places, but I still wanted to try this for actually near where that tree is. There's a lot of shade there, so I'm gonna try this mix over there. Anyway, so I am not excited about digging out that area, and that's why I've just not done it, but I need to, because I really, really, really wanna make things happen and grow flowers there, and I feel like future Alexa will be very grateful for what present Alexa does. Anyway, so right now I'm over by our pond. And then that other side is it's more of our property and whatnot. I wasn't focusing as much on that side. As far as doing flowers, I was gonna focus primarily over here. And right behind me, you see that? The previous owners had a bird bath situation, but it was very heavy and the top actually could come off, and my kids like to play there and a lot of other little kids that we would have come over. So I was like, that's a terrible idea. If like, you can see it actually on the ground. Do you see it there? The top of it? Yeah, imagine that falling on a 4-year-old, right? So we took that down. I realized, I was like, you know what if I just make put a bunch of seeds in this area, but it has a bunch of gravel. So I'm gonna have to clear out the gravel, figure out how to do that, and see if I can do some things with the soil and try it out. So it's all experimenting. But anyway, that's what I'm out here to do today. Identify the locations where I'm gonna put different seeds. So I can walk over. Let's walk over. Okay, so we have right here, let me grab some of my seed packets. I have Made in the Shade. I have Water Wise, 3-Season Bloom, Southern Hills, and Plains. Okay, so, sorry, took a while. So I have these. Now this one, again, I have to see if that's even gonna be possible, because obviously it's been a lot of gravel. I mean, some things are clearly growing because you can see weeds, but that might not be optimal. So I'm gonna figure out whether or not this area really can be a place to plant, or if I'm gonna need to do some work in the soil before I can really do that, or, you know, work on the soil for a longer period of time. But over here, I think I could make it happen. I think I could make it happen here and do one of these. Now, once this huge water oak starts to have some leaves on it, this area is gonna get a little less sun, but it's still gonna get a decent amount of sun. So I'm looking at maybe the 3-Season Bloom for over here, or the Southern Hill Plains. And then over here, again, we get lots more shade. This area is a great area in the summer when it's really hot and sticky out here in Georgia, because you can see all how big these trees are, and so it gets a lot more shade. So I'm wondering if the Made in the Shade could do well over here. You can see our boat. It's actually not ours, it's our pastor's who stores it here, and we get to use it whenever we want. But then I could also do it over here under the gazebo. So this is our gazebo. Could put some flowers here and around. And I'm kind of focusing on these areas because here you can see the side of our side yard. But you see how the house is right there, and so we have a lot of, you know, just everything, a lot of what we do, we come out here and it's the front yard. This is the area where when we have people over, we are just in the most, because the water is right here. So that's why I'm thinking to myself, this is where, you know, I want to prioritize growing some things here because we're going to see it so much and be around it so much. Let's walk back over here. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think I'll put some over here. I do have this one right here called the Water Wise Garden flowers. And let me put these down for a second. Okay, I'm gonna flip this around. All right, so with that one, I kind of want to put it somewhere farther away to maximize on the whole Water Wise piece. So we do have, if I flip, we have our fire pit over there. Could do something. Could do something between the crepe myrtles. Let me see, the crepe myrtles right over there. But the other thing I was thinking is, you see that tree? It's kind of random. Like the previous owners, they said they didn't understand. They're like, we don't know what our mom was doing when she decided to do this. It's like they kind of like, they cut the tree down and then here, let me keep it in the background. They cut the tree down and then like, I don't know, the stump, it's kind of odd, but since we're not gonna do anything about it right now, I was like, well, what if we do the Water Wise garden, which just means that the flowers don't require as much water. So I was trying to do it farther away because I won't have to worry about watering it as much, farther away from the pond and the house where the hose hookup is, or the pond where I can just get pond water. But I was like, well, if I do it over there, maybe it'll add some extra beauty to the tree too. Right now the tree's blooming, so it's actually kind of pretty. You can see it there. It's kind of pretty, but yeah, there's that. And then we have the dam, which is also a place that we could add some flowers and stuff too. That thing is wild with sweet gum trees, and so Brandon cut a bunch of them down. And then we also have some, I think it's called sweetbriar. There's a ton of those on there too. But anyway, my arm is getting tired from holding this camera up, so I'm gonna come back over here. But yeah, so that's, let me move back so you're not that close to me. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna see. My biggest concern is what soil is good and what's not, and I'm putting less effort into thinking about that and more just going with it and seeing what happens. So anyway, that's it for now. I was just really excited about the seeds, the different seed options, and yeah, and going. I'm excited to grow from Botanical Interests. I've never done it, but I've just heard really great things. So anyway, I'm gonna go, and as always, know that you're a valued and significant person. I didn't think it was gonna be a thing where I would say that after every video, but I realized if you're gonna give me your time, and I have no idea when you're gonna watch this and at what point in your life you're gonna watch this, and so I feel like, why not say it? Because you never know when it's gonna meet someone and when you might need to hear this message. I was actually texting someone earlier, I will not say their name, but I was texting someone earlier, and they've been really overwhelmed. And when I was talking to them and I said to them, you know, they had to cancel something they were gonna do with me, and they were feeling bad about it and you know, disappointed. And I was just like, you know, on my end, I don't want to add any burden to you. And I'm not sharing this because I'm like so great, because I'm not, but like, I'm just saying, I felt in that moment, I was like, I don't want to add any burden to you. Please know, like, there's no harm done with us. You got to cancel, life happens, and that's okay. But I was like, but I pray that God meets you and you're overwhelmed. Like they were saying how they were like crying because they were just so overwhelmed and like letting it out. And I was like, I'm so glad that you are willing to be a strong enough person to be weak. And I think that we don't look at life that way sometimes, but it's like, it is a strength to be able to be weak. And so I wanted to encourage them to be like, good for you for being able to be weak, and good for you for being able to acknowledge what you're feeling. And I just pray that you can offer that to the Lord, and that like in your weakness you can receive the strength of the Lord and keep going. And it's not about you and your willpower and gotta do it, but rather it's being able to say, I can't, but you can. And so I need you to show up, and I need you to help me. And God's faithful to respond to that. That's not like an insult to our almighty God, but I think it's an act of faith and trust, and being a child dependent on their parent. You know, I wouldn't get mad at my kids if they're like, hey, I need you, Mom, to be strong for me. You know what I mean? Like, what parent's gonna yell at their kid for that, right? You know, not a parent in a healthy place, right? Not a parent who's trying to be healthy. We want to care for our kids. But there is a van coming down my property, probably a delivery. I don't know, but I should probably go check that out. So good to talk to you today. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bless you. Until next time.